In 1984, 30th of January 1984, I became embroiled in what became a notorious programme called Maggie's Militant Tendency. The programme set out to examine the findings of the Young Conservative report into attempted extreme right-wing infiltration by racists and anti-Semites into the outer reaches of the Conservative Party. The programme was very hard-hitting. The programme was very well researched. But nonetheless, you learn that the truth is the most dangerous thing in life in lots of ways, because a lot of people won't like the truth, and you'll find people coming to attack you and the rest of it. But it's very important to hold on to the fact that if you're a public servant or a public broadcaster, that it's very important to hold on to the fact that your job is to pursue the truth as you see it, make sure it's well reasoned and put it out there. Maggie's Militant Tendency wasn't intended to be a definitive piece of work, nor was the Young Conservative report. What we were both doing, and we worked very closely with the Young Conservatives, is we wanted to ask ourselves, here's this information, yes, it's very damaging. We named a number of Conservative MPs who the programme said were members of organisations whose aim was to infiltrate the Conservative Party. Now, in saying that, we were effectively doing both doing the same thing really, which was that we filmed the report, the official Conservative report, going in on the 30th of January 1984 into Conservative Central Office, and we filmed the author of the report, Phil Pedley, delivering it to the Conservative Party. There were many, many people at cabinet level and beyond who egged us on and supported it and said that we should continue to do it. We also previewed it in the cutting rooms with several leading Conservative figures, all of whom were full of praise for the programme. Anyway, we worked enormously hard in order to, this was in 1978, was it? Hang on. So, no, it was 84. Do it again, 1984. 84, okay. Alright, let me go again, let me get the chronology right. Okay, in Maggie's Militant Tendency, depending on where you stand, is either a very famous programme or it's a very notorious programme. All I can tell you is what our intention was. We worked incredibly hard. I remember one or two people on the production team said to me, James, it is absolutely backbreaking, because we had a Young Conservative report that concluded that the party had become the target of a number of racist, anti-Semitic groups, and we named those groups. When it came to air, it created an enormous storm, and the right of the party, extreme right of the party, became very active, shall we say, in trying to undermine the programme. Anyway, we assembled. What happened after the programme was a number of the evidence statements that we took from Conservatives disappeared. So our witnesses, our batch of witnesses, fell, which unnerved the Board of Governors. In the run-up to the trial in January '86. There were various discussions went on between the Conservative Party in government and the BBC. And at different times, they thought and we thought we'd win, or vice versa. The one thing I would like to put on the record about Maggie's militancy, which I think has been misunderstood, is this. I had the highest possible regard for Margaret Thatcher. I thought she was a remarkable woman and a remarkable Prime Minister. One of the greatest Prime Ministers of the last 100 years. Our programme was not intended to attack her, not at all. Our programme was intended to pose a question. And that question was, do you think that this issue, the activities of the three groups that we named, was something you're happy about and happy to just leave alone? Or do you want to praise it? Or do you want to take action against it? Again, it was not our job. We're not government. We're broadcasters. Now, and it's very important to know that, because we worked immensely hard. Didn't make us right, but we worked immensely hard. We assembled a huge body of information. We assembled a huge body of official documentation. But the point is this, is that it was not intended in any way, shape or form to damage Margaret Thatcher. What it was to pose a question in a plural democracy: is this kind of activity and these kind of groups of the calibre that Conservative government would want to be associated with? And that was no more, no less than that. Amen.